we just finished and how I think I did in standard overall. So we're going to start with round 1 against Dimir. I think that against Dimir, it really comes down to whether or not they draw their removal spells. It's a very good, very close matchup, but I feel like it has lots of agency and lots of decision points. But I feel like if your opponent just draws the right removal spells, the right interaction points, they can kind of pick apart what you're doing to a degree where your game plan just falls apart. Because traditionally we play low power, high synergy cards. So our cards feed off of each other. So if they can keep us on just 1 or 2 inconsequential haste guys and take out our lords, take out our Krinkos and our goblin or our value enablers, I think that it's not really something that we can control. We have to kind of just play the Dimir matchup enough where the variance has to be on our side for some of the games, and we have to play towards those games. And if our opponent has nothing but removal, let them have nothing but removal. That's the reality of Magic. Round 2 felt pretty good. It was a horrible circumstance and unfortunate series of events, but my opponent, I gave them game 1 because I was late. I was pulled over by an officer for not seeing a street sign, and it's my bad. I should have seen the stop sign 1,000%. But it made me 10-15 minutes late to the match, and so I gave him game 1, and then I won game 2 by being very aggressive, and then game 3 I had Leyline, and Leyline just proved to be too much. Being able to just go super, super wide was enough to play around the removal spells and the blockers, and then the Leyline kept them from being able to reanimate the big important cards. So that match felt good. The Dimir match, it was a good player playing a good deck, and they drew well. We can't get mad at that. So then, round 3, we were playing up against Terror. Round 3 was... So that was... No, round 2 was Terror. Round 3... Oh, I'm blanking real hard. So we played Dimir, we played Terror. Oh, it was Oculus. That's what it was. We played... What's up? Thank you guys for dropping in. So we played Dimir, then we played Oculus, and then we played Terror. And we won we won against Terror and Oculus. We lost round 1. So we were 2-1 going into round 4. Then in round 4 we lost to Dimir in a very close match, a bunch of interaction points, a board stall that I could have played a little bit differently, but I think that the sequencing still ends up being the same. So we lost round 4 and ended up going 2-2. Then we go into round 5. We play up against Caretaker's Talent, an amazing pilot, really cool guy, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So we ended up 2-3 on the day. The deck felt really good. So for this event, we took out the Agathas and we put in 2 or 3 Painters Studios. And because we had only 3 Dropkick Bombers in paper, we have to find the last Dropkick Bomber. If anybody out there knows where we could find a Dropkick Bomber, we have to find a bomber because Goblins is good right now in Standard, but we need our final Lord. Right now, we have the 2 mana. One is really, really good. It's the Horde Master. When it dies or another Goblin dies, I get to exile the top card, and if it's a Goblin creature, I can cast it to the end of my next turn. The other one that we have is Dropkick Bomber. That's the new one from Foundations. That card, paired with Seer Slicer, is the dumbest thing in the world. It makes our grinding matchups a lot better. It makes a lot of our matchups a lot better. And we're just really happy that Wizards is printing good Goblins again. And then the final lore that we have is this enchantment called Painter Studio. Also Defamed Gallery or something. Declamate, something like that. Something Gallery. It's Painter Studio on one side, Defaced Gallery on the other, I think. And then that's a lord when you're attacking, and we're only ever attacking anyways, so this works perfectly. So those are the changes that we made. The sideboard, we added a Lithomanthic Barrage and cut a Withering Torment, We did that because we believed that our Caretakers matchup was worse than our Dimir matchup. No. On Arena, we thought that our Caretakers matchup was worse than our Dimir matchup, but we thought in paper we were going to see more Dimir. So that's why we made that switch. Yeah, besides that, there were no main changes to the deck, so I feel like, I saw a lot of one-land hands. I saw a lot of, little bit mana-heavy hands. I think maybe I just have to get more reps with these cards. I feel like because I play so much Modern and because I play other formats, a lot of the times if you're not really invested in a deck, the cards don't respect you. Call me superstitious, but I feel like, if you put time into a format, your cards reward you. I know that that's how I feel in Modern. When I play Modern, sometimes I blind flip Kiki-Jiki when I have no business blind flipping a Kiki-Jiki, just because the deck's like, you know what? You've lost so many games. Here you go. You take this one, buddy. And so I feel like I kind of got to get there with standard Goblins, where the cards don't give me one-land hands all the time. They don't give me 5-land hands all the time. And that might be superstitious, but I feel like you have to put the work in for the cards to respect you. Because think about it, these are like mythical creatures, these are like super powerful entities that you're playing with, in plastic sleeves on a table in like some random room. So like, they kind of have to respect you for you to get the full value, the power out of them, right? Otherwise, they're just not going to give you that much. They're going to give you the bare minimum. And I don't know, in a game of variance, what's wrong with a little bit of superstition? So anyways, I feel like Standard's in a really good spot right now. I enjoyed playing the RCQ today. If you came out, thank you so much for playing. If you played any games, thank you so much. I feel like, I could mess with the numbers in the sideboard a little bit. I really want to try more Boros and more Izzet. I like this list. This list feels really good. We went 4-1 on Arena when streaming 2 days in a row. So we were 8-2 over 2 days with the deck on Arena. But, Arena's in a very small sample size. We were playing best of 3 matches, so that means that we're playing against a little bit of more enfranchised players who are more dedicated to having probably more updated and tier decks. So that was something, but I feel like in the long run, we need to play more Paper Magic with Standard. Playing on Mondays at the Boar's Head is good, but maybe we also need to play on Fridays at NRG. I'm not sure, but if you guys have any thoughts, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try to get back to them when I'm done driving. But I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts on the format out there, and kind of wanted to just give my piece. So thank you guys so much for listening, and this has been the Goblin Delivery Driver Podcast, episode 3. I hope you have a beautiful day. Oh, I never know how to end these things.